Good morning and welcome to Trinity Lutheran Church and Trinity Lutheran Christian School. We hope that you are having a magnificent day. Today our devotion talks about a ludicrous investment, and it comes from Jeremiah chapter 32, verses 8 and 9. I knew that this was the word of the Lord, so I bought the field. 1929, America suffered economic despair. The Great Depression came as our economy collapsed. Millions of people lost everything, and one of my favorite movies illustrates this pretty well. Cinderella Man, story of James J. Braddock, heavyweight champion of the world at one point in professional boxing. He had gone from riches to rags and then back to riches. But in 1929, people were selling off their stocks at pennies on the dollar so they would have something, except for a man, Floyd Odlum, who what he did, rather than selling stocks, he bought those stocks at pennies on the dollar. And you probably can guess the rest of the story. 20, 30 years later, he just ballooned up with all kinds of wealth. And I knew a person in New York, Webster Schott, who he and his father bought up land in Brooklyn in the 1930s and then sold it between 1980 and 2010 for just handsome increases in wealth. God told Jeremiah what seemed to be an absolutely ludicrous investment to buy land in the territory of Benjamin. You see, at that point, Benjamin was being ransacked and ravaged by the Babylonians. And land really wasn't worth anything because it was going to be destroyed. But yet Jeremiah had faith, and he went and purchased the land, and the fields that he purchased somehow were spared. Jeremiah had shown great faith in what people would have considered to be a poor investment. You know what? There are days when we are a poor investment, but God invests in us so much that he sent his son Jesus to die on the cross for us. We were a collapse. We're a sinful being, a sinful nature. But yet there was that thought and that belief by God that we were worthwhile, and he illustrated that to us. You know, right now in our world, people are afraid to take chances. One of my favorite, one of my favorite sayings that came from Robin Roberts that I've probably used before on a devotion. When fear knocks at the door, let faith answer it. We could change that. When fear, trouble, or other things knock at our door, we let God answer it for us. God answers our prayers. God listens to us. So the things that you might think are not wise, if the Lord is telling you to do something, probably a pretty good bet to do it. Be like Jeremiah. Ludicrous investment or absolute faith? Let's choose the latter. Today in our prayers, we keep the Ree family, who has recently lost a brother-in-law, the Coughlin family, who has lost Mary Kay's father, and Ken's father-in-law. We keep all folks that are suffering from COVID in our prayers, and we also remember the firefighters yesterday in West Baltimore that gave their lives. And we're reminded constantly of those people that are public servants that give their lives for those of us to enjoy the freedoms and the rights that we have. Have a blessed day today in the Lord.